I'm leaving Germany. In fact, I have already left and I'm not coming back ever. I mean, I will come back to visit, but not for living. That time is over. Over the years, a lot of people have come up to me and said, "Hey, I watched your videos about Germany and they convinced me to move to Germany." And now I have to say, I'm sorry, guys. Things have changed. I've been living in Germany for the better part of my life. I grew up in the south of Germany, lived for 30 years plus in Germany, the last 8 of which were in Berlin. But with every year that passes, things are getting kind of worse and worse every year a little bit. Quality of life in Germany is degrading to a point where I don't see a future in this country anymore. So I'm moving away. And in this video, I just want to share my honest opinion about the state of affairs in Germany, give my 2 cents about it, and tell you what led me to this decision, especially.
Germany is a shithole. Now, if you look around online, you'll see Germany is a shithole. It's not the country it was. Country, my bad. It's not the country it was. It's an absolute shithole. They're prioritising druggies and rapists over working class citizens. Yeah. Now, for example, if you get attacked off a druggie or a rapist, right, then you spray them with, let's say, pepper spray, and them can actually get you arrested, and the police won't arrest them for the initial crime against you. They'll arrest you for pepper spraying them. Make it make sense. That's why Radical Living is leaving Germany. That's your story.
If you are considering moving to Germany, building a life there, you should watch this video. It all comes down to politics in the end. The decisions your leaders make for your country affect everybody.
All by design, by the way. This is not by accident for these laws, and we made these laws, and it's by design. All of it's by design in every country.
In a good or in a bad way. For 20 years, I've been watching the government make one bad decision after another.
Deliberately.
I just can't take it anymore. I can't. Watching politics in Germany is like watching a prequel to the movie Idiocracy. If you haven't watched that movie, you definitely should. It's basically what's happening in most of the world. Germany is not an exception. I'd love to help fixing it, but then you would have to go into politics, and then you have to deal with all the people that are already there, which will drive you mad for the rest of your life. So the only option you have left is to leave. In the end, it all comes down to quality of life. And quality of life in Germany is degrading every year more, and the pace seems to be accelerating. So I don't think that country will be a good place to live in the foreseeable future. Maybe.
It's not now, not the foreseeable future. Germany's been declining pre-COVID. It's got even worse now. It's a cesspit. It's like hell on earth.
In the far future again. It's not all bad, of course, but if you can choose where you live, there's far better places to do that. I have made hundreds of videos about Germany, and you know all the good stuff already. So this video isn't gonna be about pros and cons. This video is about like the decisions that made me leave. Why is Germany not the best place to live anymore? First, the economy. Germany has been stagnant or even in a recession for the last few years. And the last year especially has been very brutal. There's job cuts in all sectors, obviously because of the decisions politicians made, one of which is the energy. As you all know, Germany is an industrial powerhouse.
Yeah.
We don't have many resources, but we have a lot of like industry, that produces things. For those industries, you need a lot of energy. But Germany managed over the last decade to become the most expensive country in the world when it comes to electricity. No other countries in the world, maybe UK.
It's more expensive than the UK by far.
They also pays as much for a kilowatt. It's ridiculous how expensive electricity is here.
It's a scam.
Germany had this awesome plan to become 100%
Energy-free.
renewable energy, which is a good thing. I believe in renewable energy, sustainable. But the way it was implemented was just the most stupid thing I've ever seen in my life.
Sustainable ones, yes.
Most stupid things, but it's one of them. So basically, we got rid of all our nuclear power plants before we had other power plants up and running to replace that energy, which leads to this kind of pretty long, decade-long transition to have high electricity costs. Also, you have to import electricity from other countries. I don't want to get into the details. This is just one fact that makes Germany an unattractive place to do business for businesses because it's so expensive. So they move to other places abroad where it's cheaper. But of course, the effect of that is less jobs available, more unemployment, etc. You just have to look at the news. All the major big companies in Germany having mass layoffs. Each month, 2025, 10,000 here, 15,000 there, literally every month, news like that coming out. So if you are looking for a job, if you want to come to Germany to work, it's not a good time anymore.
It's not. That's showing you. You see how the headlines there? That's actually showing you. The taxes are so high, the overheads are so high. Rent, food, business rates through the roof. So big corporations close their offices down and move out the country. It's as simple as that. So what happens? It's a knock-on effect. Then thousands of people lose their jobs, and some of them end up homeless. It's all down to the politicians. Blame them.
It was 5 years ago, but things have changed. And it's not only the electricity prices, it's also AI is competing with human jobs. It all comes together, which makes Germany not a good place to look for a job anymore. And apart from that, it's also not motivating here to work more, because if you earn more, not much more, the percentage of what you have to pay in taxes and also social insurances and everything, it goes up so much. If you calculate all the things you have to pay from your income, you can't even keep half. You can keep maybe like 30% of your income after deducting all the taxes and social insurances.
So you're saying more or less you kind of keep half, so it's probably 60-40. 60 to them, 40 to you. Fuck that. I'd fucking leave it, drop of a hat. There's plenty of other countries here that's a lot cheaper. And if you can do remote working and work, you're making money online, that's living the dream, And you can get a decent woman as well in South America, Colombia, Peru, places like that. And they're not like these westernized feminists, like want to be a big, strong, independent woman. The men go around saying they're big, strong, and independent. No, they don't. Honestly. So you can get a job elsewhere, you can get a woman elsewhere and live like a fucking king. Thailand's another place as well. Philippines, Vietnam, forgetting the country. Well, forget the name anyway. I'll come to us later.
Germany is a good country for like middle class earnings because then you don't pay so much tax, and then you have to pay 19% tax again.
What?
On the things you buy.
Fucking scam.
People keep forgetting, and I think that's also why the system is designed the way it is.
Of course. Yeah, that word designed. So he's fully aware, Radical Living, who's got 1.2 million followers, he's fully aware that it's all by design. Clever fella. He's clever.
You're not only paying your income tax and social insurances, you're also paying VAT, Umsatzsteuer, which is 19%. If you put it in perspective, 7 out of 10 hours you are working for the state.
Wow.
Which, in my opinion,
wow.
It's too much. You shouldn't work 7 out of 10 hours for the state. It's just
that's ridiculous.
Germany is a country of hardworking people. Germans, they don't love work, but they work hard.
Fucking ridiculous scam. Now, think about 15-minute cities. Think about 50. Are you with us? By design.
That has its pros and cons, because if your politicians are also hardworking people and they are working hard in the wrong direction, they are working very hard to ruin this country.
Yeah.
Just imagine how hard you have to work as a politician to ruin a nation with 80 million hardworking people. You've got to work damn hard for that. You don't have to take all this facts from me, I'm just summing it up here. All the economy advisors in Germany, all the big firms, they're saying this to the politicians. But they're not doing anything about it. They just act. If you ignore the issue, it's gonna go away on their own. But it's not. And things are even worse if you're self-employed. Germany hates entrepreneurs. They've been saying for years.
They hate entrepreneurs because the government overall, that aim is you'll own nothing to be happy. Well, who's going to own it then? You. No, fuck you. I'll own it, not you. And who put you on fucking charge? Because I certainly didn't. You'll own nothing, be happy, and be getting 5 to 10 grand a month in benefits. Don't work. No, I'll work for myself. Who put you in charge? Because I didn't, and the rest of the 5 billion people didn't either. It's as simple as that. You know, sitting in the back of the Vatican like a little scared final boss, giving you orders out. Get a grip, man. Yous aren't the most intelligent. Yous need to give your heads a shake. We want more freedom.
Need to make things more attractive for startups, for small businesses, for entrepreneurs to attract them, but they are doing exactly the opposite. They make it every year
By
kind of
design.
more unattractive. If you want to do anything in this country, they're gonna make it as hard as possible for no reason at all. And if you're self-employed, you have to pay even more than employees for social insurances. You have to pay double the rate for health insurance. Now they even want to make pension insurance obligatory for self-employed people because the pension system is falling apart and they're just scrambling to get more money in the system.
Exactly like the UK. All these pensions you paid them for years, and the government saying, "Oh, it's not going to be on it because they've spent it." However, money's backed by nothing. Backed by nothing. It's digits on a screen, so they can print it out of thin air. Not a problem. So all this fear mongering they do, it's just fear mongering. Just laugh at them. See, money's backed by nothing. It's digit on a screen. They made ourselves trillionaires and billionaires overnight, where we are slave to the money. Slaves to the money.
Which will lead to more entrepreneurs and freelancers to leave.
Yeah.
Like me.
That's a goal.
I'm not doing that.
They're doing exactly the same in the UK. Exactly the same. It's going to get worse. Income tax, corporation tax is going to rise. There's going to be exodus of more people. They're doing it from country to country. Eventually, they come back to the UK. It's going to happen.
You know how much pension insurance is in Germany? Guess?
Much?
No, it's more. More than that. You already have to pay like 18% in health insurance.
Wow.
And then you will have to pay another 18.5% for pension insurance. 18.5%.
What?
If you earn €100 being self-employed, €18 will go into pension insurance, into a system you will never see anything significant coming back. Because once we are getting old enough to get pension, inflation will have eaten most of it. And purchasing power of the money paid in will be nothing. Because Germany has a very bad pension system.
Yeah, because all politicians are scammers. That's all they are. They're scammers out for themselves. All they are. They're just the criminals. There's no other way of saying it. They're all criminals because the world is ruled by criminals. They're all criminals, man. If the people woke up and realised what our own governments don't work, that they wouldn't be ruling this world, this realm for much longer.
Like in the USA, where you can like invest it in different things. Germany, you just pay it in, and the government puts it into who knows what, but it's not growing. You know, it's just like 2%. I think.
Yeah, it's not growing because they're clipping off the top. They're scamming it. You know, it's just. My God, honestly, all by design. That's all it is.
I think a year it increases in value, which inflation is already eating up. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna get a
Inflation.
good pension in Germany.
No, you're not.
So it's not worth paying into it. Employed people have to pay for it already. For self-employed people,
Alternatively, don't pay into pension. Get that money and do your own pension, or buy gold and Bitcoin. It's as simple as that.
it was not obligatory. For me, this would be a reason enough to leave Germany, to pay 18% extra on
What?
your income.
18% extra on
mad.
top of that's
And it's not
disgrace.
just me, you know, you just have to look at the surveys. There's plenty of surveys out there that ask young people or entrepreneurs or freelancers if they want to stay in Germany, if they're thinking about moving abroad, working somewhere else, living somewhere else. And from all the people I know, and I know a lot of freelancers and people who have like small businesses, none of them want to stay in Germany. They either have already left, are about to leave, or are planning to leave. I am here right now in Cyprus.
Exactly the same as the UK. It's been going on for a few years now. Get out the UK if you've got money. Get out when you can.
I've went to some meetups here and it's like full of German entrepreneurs. They all left and they're all leaving to not just here. You know, there's tens of thousands of entrepreneurs living here with businesses. They just can't take it anymore, the system in Germany. They come here, they go to Spain, they go to other places, you know, anywhere but Germany to do business. A lot
Sorry,
of
I'll
people
eat you
think
back.
businesses should pay higher taxes. Wealthy individuals
Yeah.
should pay higher taxes. That more money will be in the system. But it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite by design, because what that desired outcome is, they're trying to eradicate the middle class. So you've only got the lower class and the elite, the upper class. Now it's a lot more harder for being lower class and jumping up to the upper class elite than it is jumping from the lower class, middle class to the upper class. Are you with us? So that's why they do it.
Because if you think like that, you're not living in reality. People and businesses can just move to another country. And you've seen this in other countries where they raise the taxes for rich people, they raise the taxes for businesses. They just move abroad to friendlier places for them. And in the end, you have less tax money in the system and you have less people who contribute to the society you want to build because they're left, because
Yeah.
they're pissed off. Just to
Yeah.
have it said, I don't have a thing against taxes. If I would see that the tax
No, I have. I've got to think there should be no taxes. They own the Fed, they own the UK Mint, they own the currency. There's no reason to have any effing taxes. It's a scam. 100% scam taxes. Actually, I invite any of my viewers who watch this video and comment below if you believe or not that there's no such law stating that you should pay taxes. And I implore you to look for the legislation and give us the link for the legislation that you've got to pay taxes. It doesn't exist. The law does not exist. So therefore, it's getting enforced to pay taxes through a gangster mentality. Are you with us? That's our government. The world government, the whole people, the gangsters' mentalities, that's all they are. Gangsters.
money I pay is in good hands. You know, they do something good with it. But the amount you see being wasted on the most stupid things, it's unbelievable. So much money
Yeah,
is going
shocking.
into war, is going into social welfare for lazy people. I'm not against taxes at all. You know,
Oh, that social welfare for lazy people. Do you know what it is? That's just a government construct. I disagree with that one there, because there's lazy people who don't work and never work in their life or pay taxes. However, the money is printed on a printer. It's not even printed on paper now. It's digits on a screen. It's backed by nothing. It's out of fresh air. Magic money. And then we've got it all, and we haven't, and we're the slaves. So, yeah, that, you know, just don't fall for the government constructs, which is racism, ageism, genderism, workism, dualism, lazy bastardism. I couldn't go on, you know? It's just genderism. There's another one. So, yeah, government constructs that cause more divide that turns out to be equals conquer. Easier to conquer.
taxes are a good thing, contributing something to society. The state can do something with that money to make the quality of life for everyone better. But in Germany, I don't see that happening anymore. What I see is that the majority of taxes is being wasted. Penalties are so high if you are evade taxes in Germany. It's worse than murder, right? So, but there's
Yeah.
no laws keeping politicians accountable for wasting taxes.
Because it's by design,
They should be accountable.
but they're not. I've always argued this, that politicians should be incentivized to do a good job. And now you know why they always change their mind and do a bad job, because they're just front people. You know, like a rug dealer has a business, and it's no one comes to the sweet shop or they sell anything. They're just washing their money through. That's what a politician is. Yeah, all the contracts with multi-millions, you know, that they're giving themselves, just washing money through. That's all. Washing that dirty cash. Because yes, the people who rule the world have got dirty cash. I wonder what dirty cash belongs to. Yeah, yes, that's right. They're bringing it into our own country to cause more divide, rugging people up, the zombies walking in the street when they've just had that fix. Yeah, aye. Thank you, government, for that.
Because you work, as I said earlier, 7 out of 10 hours for the state, right? And then they waste this money. There's even a book coming out in Germany, or like a magazine, that shows the biggest tax wastes of the country each year. If you look at it, you think like, how on earth is this possible? Who approved those projects, wasting billions of taxpayer money? And taxpayer money is literally human life. You worked for it. You paid this money
Yeah,
with
we
your
do.
time that you worked, and just wasting it. I'd be glad to pay 70% of taxes if quality of life would go to the moon, you know?
No, bro. I disagree with that one. That's maybe you would. I wouldn't. We should be paying no taxes, and our life should. The world would be a lot better if the people that rule this world didn't rule it, because they're just fucking psychopaths. There's no other way of saying it. Pure evil psychopaths.
It's going down. No logic. But you know who Germany is a really good country for? Lazy people. Germany has one of the best social welfare systems in the world. And I mean, it's so good, it's almost not worth working a low income job. Because if you work for minimum wage, full time, you barely make more than you would get from.
And I'll go back to what I said earlier. They're trying to bring you own nothing and be happy, and you're going to have a state money. You're going to be happy and own nothing. So you're going to get $5,000 a month, you know? But you'll own nothing. So what are you going to spend it on? You know what I mean? There's going to be $5,000 for a slight a piece of bacon, or a piece of steak. You know, if you're not a good person, a good guy, they cut your funding off, you know, because you put something on social media. That's an element of control that's coming towards, not for our lifetime, our kids' lifetime. Very scary. Far too much control. And for me, that's very, very weak and insecure. Yeah, they're weak and insecure. That's what they want to do.
Social welfare. And by
Social
earning a little bit
welfare,
more,
yeah.
I mean getting like a few €100 more per month for working full time instead of going for the social welfare system. And there's gonna be people in the comments.
Yeah, well, what is the point of working if it's a case? People are better off, aye? Yeah. What's the point of working? There's no incentive, but it's by design, because they want you all not to work and be in your house all the time, not get the sun, you know, not go for walks. Are you with us? And you're going to make a generation of sick, unwell people. Therefore, you die a lot younger. Huh? Aye, yeah. Onto something, on that.
Oh, you just get €550 a month for social welfare. And that's not true. You get €500 cash, and then they pay your flat, where depends where you live, how much it costs, you know. There's limits, of course, but in a city like Munich, for example, they will also pay for a flat that costs €1,000 a month, and then you have health insurance, which would cost €300 a month if you would pay for it on your own. Also, you don't have to pay for Beitragsservice, which is €18 a month, right? If you calculate all those things together, you have like a few €100 less being on social welfare than working a full-time job, 40 hours a week on minimum wage. The only logical option for a person being in this situation is to go for social welfare. You have 40 hours a week for yourself. You can work on a side project. You can play video games all day. You can get drunk all day. It doesn't matter what you do. The only thing you have to do is show up at the job center once in a while and say, yeah, I'm looking for a job.
But being unemployed isn't all that to make out. It's boring. You're not creating anything. Humans like to create stuff and build stuff. A lot of people that's unemployed choose not to, but there is people that's genuinely unemployed, and they just don't want to work for next to nothing, because time they work and get minimum wage, they're working for like the worse off working. And you're just a number, and the expectations at work. They want you to do extra shifts and not get paid. Some of them, it's a scam. Working 9 to 5 is an absolute scam. I'm telling you that. It is. Simple as that. So is university. Don't get started with university. Give people 100 grand in debt just to get a degree or a master's or something that they can't get a job. And they've got to work in a fast food place like McDonald's. Doesn't make sense. Why are you doing that? Become an entrepreneur. Depend on yourself.
That's it. And you get this for the rest of your life. And what also a lot of people don't know or don't want to know is that if you have children and you are unemployed and get social welfare, your children also will get Bürgergeld. They will get social welfare. Especially for unemployed people with children, it doesn't make any sense to work at all. They can spend time with their children. The children also get like 500 euro a month in Bürgergeld
Wow.
extra on top of what the parent is getting.
That's
So Germany is a
mental.
great place for lazy.
So the children get 500 a month as well. Yes, I think it's going to be our lifetime that they're going to incorporate this. So we're dependent on the state. That's what it is. We're dependent on the state government. You know, what a shithole they've turned this world into, haven't they? They've just turned this world into a shithole over time. Like, who do they think they are? Who the fuck are them? Because I never put them fucking in place, did you? I never. Did you give them the right to rule over it? Because I certainly didn't. Not what? They didn't even fucking, not about free will. Where's the free will in that? Didn't give her no choice. So it's not about free will. You're full of shit, Mr. Final Boss in the Vatican.
People who don't want to work, have a lot of children,
Of course they
get
don't.
paid from the state. They give you a big flat, a big house,
You can't blame the
doing
people,
nothing.
bro.
And that's great for them.
It's a
But it's
government.
not great for society as a whole.
Of course
Some
it's
people
not.
say that, these are just exceptions.
Have you ever seen the movie? Is it The Hummingbird? The Hummingbird. That is it Hummingbird or something? Where it's the future and you're all under the state and you work for the government, you've got to work for them and that, and they go hunting and all that. They hunt humans. They're trying to tell you what they're doing, man, already and done in the past. You know? Like, who the fuck do they think they are? Because they're not my fucking boss. Or that way around, because you've got to have that much control. You're insecure as fuck and weak. Weak-minded.
Most people, they need the benefits because they can't work, they can't find a job. But I can just tell you from my personal experience, I've been living in Berlin 8 years. I've been living in Neukölln. 25% of the people living in Neukölln get social welfare. 1 in 4 people. Public statistics, you can look it up. I know people who have been getting social welfare in South Germany, where I come from, for 20 years, 30 years. Doesn't matter. They don't want to work. They take a job once in a while for a year, then they go back to the system because it's not worth getting a low-income job. But of course, Berlin is the worst city when it comes to this. It's like in some parts of Germany, it's looked down upon getting social welfare. In Berlin, it's kind of the opposite.
Oh, yeah, but to be honest, bro, look down upon, that's a government construct. You've got poverty and people who non-poverty. Government construct to cause more divide. More divide equals conquer. That's why they do it.
If you have a job, you're like, you're stupid. You're working. Why would you do that? I'm not making this up. I know personally dozens of people who get social welfare not because they can't work, because they don't want to work.
Yeah? Would
And
you blame
I'm
them?
one guy. I know dozens of people like that. If I, one guy, know a couple of dozen people who abuse the system, it's not the exception anymore. It's becoming the norm. Berlin alone is losing like hundreds of millions of euro to people who abuse the system. They know this, but they can't do anything about this because it's the law. You have to follow the law. Congratulations for
Yeah, the law, follow the law. The law that's written by them. The law that's written by them for us. But there's no laws for them. 2 words, Epstein files. Where's the law? That goes to show the law isn't for them, it's for us. It's control another government construct. Should be no laws. It's not their fucking land to say there's laws. It's as simple as that.
Being lazy, I guess. If that's what you want to do with your life. You won the lottery in Germany. This is just one more fact about what's going wrong in Germany. I personally don't want to live in a country where laziness is rewarded and hard work is penalized.
Bro, it's look at the bigger picture. It's not about that. They're doing that deliberately by design. Sure, you intelligent fella, radical living. There's more than that. I'm sure you're going to see more, because if you don't, you're just being suckered into that government constructs.
There's no logic in that for me. I'd rather pay my taxes elsewhere. There's not a really important thing that has been bugging me a lot about living in Germany, and it's how society interacts with one another, like people. I never had to think about those things, but I am at an age where I have to think about where I want to raise children. And Germany and Germans are really hostile against children. They don't want them. It sounds absurd, but it really is like that. Germany is not a family-friendly country at all. There are some financial incentives in Germany to have children. You get like Kindergeld and parental leave and all that. But when it comes to like the people and how they view children, it's very negative. Just to give you a few examples. If you go to a restaurant with a child, people in the restaurant, Germans, they will look at you and they make a face like, "Ugh, are you kidding me? Are you seriously bringing this child into the restaurant to ruin my time here?" Everywhere I've been, Southern Europe.
What the hell?
Southeast Asia.
That's absolute arrogance as hell. You can't have kids, like. Honestly, Germans are hard work.
If you enter a restaurant with a child, people will light up. You know, they will, hello. They will want to interact with the children. They're nice. They seem happy that they're there, you know. In Germany, it's the opposite. If Germans see children in public places, they're annoyed. They don't want to have them there.
Mental.
And that says a lot about society, not in a good way. Being annoyed by children doesn't.
Do you know what it says a lot about this society? That humans are easily controlled, because there's a lot of humans, I'd say over 90%, are pretty low IQ. Or low IQ. I've got relatives like that, and I cut them off. They don't bring nothing to the table. They're always taken. They've never paid taxes. They've never worked a day in their life. They just spat kids out. You know, 3 kids each. 3 or 4 kids each. And there's, you know what I mean? No? Aye? 3 kids, then 8 kids spat out 3 each, and the third one spat out 4. Can I make it up? Yeah. Can I make it up? Just bummed off the world, off my taxes.
No matter where you are, then it's not right. You know, everybody has been a child. Most people have children.
Yeah.
They're an integral part of society. They're your future. They're the society's future. You should be happy that they're there.
Yeah.
If you want to ride a train in Germany with a baby, there is no proper place to change the diapers. There isn't, and it doesn't make any sense, because you're stuck in a train for hours. Even on that expensive train, ICE, there is no proper place to do this. It's humiliating.
Yeah.
For the child and for the parent.
It is.
To be riding on a train in Germany.
Yeah,
I guess out of the box now. I do have children now, and I've been traveling with them a lot, as you've seen in my videos. I haven't seen a more hostile place to children than Germany. And this is a very sad statement. When I've been to Japan with them, you wouldn't believe the facilities they have. You know, there's nursing rooms everywhere. There's like diaper changing stations everywhere. And those facilities are also like something I've never seen in Europe anywhere.
Yeah, because we're told from a young age that China, Japan, Hong Kong are third world countries. They're not. We live in a third world country. Westernization is the third world countries. Japan, Hong Kong, and China are a lot more advanced than we. That's facts, 100%.
You go in there. There's like sofas for mothers to breastfeed their children. There's free diapers, and once you get children, you also think about where you want to raise them, especially if you have a daughter. I don't think Germany is a good place to raise a daughter anymore, because women in general, they don't feel safe anymore walking down the street at night. You don't have to take it from me. There's public petitions in all major German cities. Women want like vouchers for free taxi rides at night. In Berlin, they want to have like women-only subway wagons. And the stories you hear in Berlin, what women have to endure in public transport, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, to be honest. You all know the reasons why it
It
is
is
like
fucked
that.
up, yeah.
I don't have to talk
Yeah,
about
we
it.
do know the reasons. All the gangs, the G, the GRU gangs, you know. It just, my child, you've got to be careful. You've got to tell the danger. There's a lot of fucking weirdos out there. It's fucked up.
But the fact is, women in Germany don't feel safe anymore.
Same as in
for
the
good reason.
UK
And deciding to raise a daughter
And
in
Ireland.
Germany is just,
and Northern Ireland.
it's not a good thought to have.
It's not.
You want to keep your people safe, your children safe, that they grow up in a friendly environment where they can feel safe any time of the day. This is just my opinion, but if a woman can't walk down the street at night and feel safe anymore, you have failed as a society, as a country. That's just my opinion. And it's kind of ridiculous. Every time something happens in Germany, politicians will just say, ah yeah, we have a knife problem. Knives are killing people. Women are dressed wrong. They should dress differently. And it's not a small thing, but you can also see it in the small things. You can't go to the supermarket anymore without feeling we're living in a crime-polluted society. Like in Prenzlauer Berg, one of the best neighborhoods in all of Berlin. If you want to go and buy shampoo or a cream, you go in a drugstore, DM. You have to go in many of the drugstores in Berlin to the cashier to get them so they
Yeah,
unlock the
because
products.
people are stealing them,
because
all the
they get
druggies.
stolen so much. Even in the Edeka, in like a normal supermarket, they're locking up alcohol, they're locking up Red Bulls, things that cost $1.50. They're putting security things on them that need to be unlocked at a cashier. What kind of society is this becoming? Another
By
example
design.
is Christmas markets. Last year, there have been a few Christmas markets who got cancelled because they can't afford the terror defense anymore because it's too expensive. It costs
Too
millions
expensive,
of euros
'cause by
for big
design.
Christmas markets to put those barriers, terror defense up.
Yeah,
And if Christmas markets,
terror
place
offense.
joy, with the one thing
Yeah,
people
we know
look
who the
forward to in
terrorists are.
December when it's cold and ugly
Alphabet
outside.
fucking
If
the
they get
alphabet
cancelled
people.
because they can't afford terror defense. Many things have gone wrong in this country. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to blame this on migration. Migration isn't a bad thing per se. It's just there's gonna be a few people who are doing stupid things and you have to select them out. But Germany is doing an extremely, extremely bad job at that. One of the bigger problems regarding that is that even if the people come to Germany to look for a refuge, they get denied.
Yeah.
And if they are from certain countries, which are considered not safe, Germany cannot send them back, even if they are not allowed to stay in Germany, if they're not granted
They can't.
permission
But
to
out of
live,
choice, they don't.
to become a resident, to work here, etc. So you have this huge group of people from refugees who come to Germany. Their permission to be here got denied, but they can't be deported to their home country because it's not safe there. So
Not safe there. The same excuse to use. It's not safe in their country. It's utter tosh. It's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. Same excuse, and they all seem to be grown men. There's no women or children.
they can't work here, they can't do anything here, but they are here because they're kind of in limbo. And that creates a lot of problems because they can't be part of society, they can't integrate, and some of them, of course, cause some trouble. It's also understandable that if you are in this limbo, you get a lot of resentment because this country didn't accept you. Another thing that drives people away is the unaffordability of Germany, especially when it comes to housing. Cost of living is rising. Germany has become so unaffordable when it comes to housing that people don't even dream about owning a house, owning a flat anymore.
Because they can't, they're priced out the market. Because the housing bubble is right to burst. It's inflated. It's a fake economy. The housing market is an absolutely fake economy. And what you're having now is people who bought I was younger, and the generation before, they were buying houses for 10 grand and 18 grand, and them houses are worth 375 grand and 500,000, 600 grand now. There's no way on earth our kids can afford a house like that. That's like straight away 10% deposits, 30 odd grand. And who's going to give them a mortgage for 300 grand to 600 grand? There's no jobs. You know, they're too busy paying off their university debts of over 100 grand, and they're on fucking minimum wage at McDonald's, even though they've got a PhD. It's a fucking scam. Big scam.
Everybody below the age of 35 has basically given up on ever owning real estate to live in. Yeah, it's become so expensive. We were looking at houses or apartments in Berlin, and Berlin is by far not the most expensive city in Germany. There's many cities more expensive. You'd have to have €1 million to buy something.
I mean, who's got €1 million to buy a fucking house, man? How? Thank you, politicians, for that, because they're pussies.
For a family, yeah, with like 3-4 rooms in a normal location. If you're gonna go outside, you can probably find something for like half that, but even $500,000 is like
$500,000 for a house is fucking. It's mental. It's absolute mental.
You're not gonna earn €1 million in your life in Germany. Not with the taxes and social insurances.
Yeah.
You're not gonna make it. Even if you work your whole life a normal job, middle class, you will not be able to afford a house in Germany anymore. Not gonna happen. All the things you have to pay, social insurances, it's just adding up and making your quality of life go down. You know how much I had to pay health insurance back in Germany the last year? It was €1,000 a month. €1,000 a month. That's €12,000 a year.
What?
If you're self-employed, it's almost like 20%. Once you earn like €5,000 a month in income, you have to pay €1,000 of that to the health insurance provider. Now I gotta have international health insurance.
What?
I pay less than €130 a month for international health insurance. I can go to any doctor in the world. Yeah, cost of living changes your life. So when you talk to people in their 20s and ask them if they're saving, investing, they say no. What's the point? They just spend it all because there's no point in saving.
You're completely giving up on our dream.
And it's not just the housing, you know, the whole infrastructure in Germany is falling apart. You just have to look at the trains. You know, Germany has had the reputation to have one of the best train systems in the world. It's always on time, etc. But those times have long passed. Now the German train system aims for a punctuality rate for the trains of 60%. That's what they're aiming for. You know. And the train in Germany is only considered late if it's more than 10 minutes late. So if the train is 9 minutes late, and the statistics, it's still on time. You would be mad to go with public transport to the airport and not have like a 2 or 3 hour buffer in there, because every time you want to go to the airport, one train gets cancelled, the next one is 1 hour delayed, you're going to spend a few extra hours getting to the airport with the train.
Yeah.
It's not reliable anymore. I have traveled a lot of countries and I've never encountered such a bad train system anywhere, not even in India. In India, every train I took was on time.
No
every
such
single
thing.
one of them. How is that
It's a made-up
possible?
word.
I don't understand.
Doesn't
So
exist.
if you can't rely on public transport anymore, that's a huge downstep in quality of life, because you can't reliably get anywhere, which kind of sucks, right? It's kind of ironic that Germany is still spending like hundreds of millions of euro in developing aid to other countries, while at the same time it's becoming
Say that hundreds of millions to develop aid in other countries, because it's just washing dirty money. That's all they're doing.
itself a developing country. Just last year, a major bridge has collapsed in the city of Dresden. So infrastructure in Germany is falling apart. They don't have enough money, but they're supporting other countries, which is a good thing. If you have the money, you should support other countries to get to your living standards. But if that comes at a cost of your own living standards, I'm not sure if that's a good idea anymore. You should be only financing what you can afford. You shouldn't spend money you don't have.
True.
And yet, despite all this, people keep voting for the same two parties.
I'll stop you there, brother. I'll stop you there. Votes don't matter. No matter who you vote for, doesn't matter. They're not elected. They're selected. Thought you would know that, brother. I thought you would know that.
over and over again. For decades, two parties have been ruling this country, CDU and SPD. They decided the future of Germany. That's what we got from it. And apparently people don't want to learn, especially for those two parties. Most people
Doesn't
voting
make a
for
difference,
them
bro.
are
Same
over
policies,
60.
different
They're
party,
retirees.
union
They have
parties.
voted for those parties
Uni
their
parties.
whole lives, and they're not going to change it, most of them. And because Germany is such an aging country, the majority of people is actually above 60. They're the biggest voter group, apart from people voting for the same parties over and over again. Germany itself is not really a democracy anymore. I wouldn't call it that.
There's no such thing as democracy. There's no such thing. It's a word they use to reinforce that, to give you choice as if they're giving you choice. They're not. It's a fraud. It's fake. It's a scam. It's by design. Democracy does not exist.
Because there's this other party, AfD, and they are the second biggest party right now. But no other party will talk to them, vote with them, or discuss anything with them. They are just pretending they don't
Doesn't
exist.
make a
They have
difference.
always done that. And they're even trying to ban this other party, which doesn't sound very democratic to me. They're always accusing this other party of being undemocratic, but by not even talking to them, not letting them be part of the conversation, basically, they are being the undemocratic parties. That's just logic. I mean, people must understand this, right? In a democracy, if those parties get a big share of votes, in this case like 20%, that's like 1/5 of all people in Germany, and they can't be represented in a democracy if the other parties don't acknowledge their existence. It doesn't matter what you think about them. It doesn't matter
Wow.
what views they have. There
Wow.
needs to be a discourse, and in Germany, there is no discourse, not between the parties. And if you say anything,
It's like if you're not in the club, well, you're not in the club, you're not getting in. You're not allowed. But we'll let you in, but you do what we say. Democracy doesn't exist. That's the opposite democracy.
that stands in the view of what this party represents, people will exclude you from society, or at least they will try to. And this is
Yeah.
also a very dangerous situation because it's creating an isolation for different groups of people in a society. And
Of course.
if certain groups
Of course it is. By design. More government constructs equals more division and more an easy conquer them. We're all divided. We're not unified as one.
of people feel isolated, they become more radicalized in both directions. And that is not good for a democracy. So Germany saying, oh, we're the most democratic
No, they're not.
country in the world,
There's no such thing as democracy.
absolute bullshit. It's just not true.
It's a
I think
word.
many other European countries are more democratic. You have the same parties in
No, there's not.
Austria.
No, they're not, brother. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. Democracy does not exist. It's as simple as that.
In the Netherlands, and they're not being ganged up upon. You know, they are in talks with other parties. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. But that's what a democracy is. So I would say Germany calls itself a democracy, but it doesn't act like one. That's also
So
the
there you
reason.
go. So that's telling you there's not democracy. It's called ourselves one. It's talking that utter shit. It's the opposite of democracy. It's just totally opposite. We're slaves. That's what we are.
Why the AfD has become so popular among a fifth or more of German voters, because there are old parties, they won't address the issues that have arisen in the last 2 decades.
Votes don't matter. Votes do not matter. So I'm starting to think, are you a paid shill?
So that's why the party was formed, right? Because people are unhappy with politics. It's kind of sad to see in Germany that the political left is encouraging violence against the political right, because left and right are just a political spectrum. You can talk
Left and right. There's no such thing. They're a uni party. There's no left, there's no right. They're both the same.
about things, or you should be able to talk about things, find a compromise. But in Germany, things are so divided between the people that the left is calling for violence against the right. The most absurd thing about this is that political actors from the left spectrum are encouraging this and saying, yeah, this is good. This is a good thing. Neither side should choose violence just to silence the opposition. That's stuff from like authoritarian countries. And in general, I don't see Germany heading in a good way when it comes to free speech. People are getting arrested.
Free speech is no such thing. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. There is no free speech. Why they're being putting people in prison who's posting negative stuff on social media or politicians? Is that free speech? It's the total opposite. Therefore, there's no democracy. It's bullshit. No free speech. Bullshit. It's free speech when them say it is. So they dictate. That's a dictatorship. There's no other way of saying it. We're slaves.
For posting memes on the internet. Literally.
Yeah.
5 years ago,
So I wasn't
you could have
talking about.
only imagined this from authoritarian countries
Yeah.
in Africa or the Middle East or something like that. But that would have been unimaginable in
Well, he's
Europe.
probably
But now the
could
UK
be-
is
huh?
mass arresting people. Germany is following suit. Comedy is over. Yeah, memes are over. Critical thinking is not allowed on the internet anymore. Nowadays, people even get arrested for stating facts. It's kind of ridiculous. It really started to get like this around COVID, you know, the people weren't
Yeah.
allowed to say certain things. Ever since COVID, the state propaganda in Germany
It's dropped,
has
yeah.
been rising a lot. You can see it really in the news how the government and the news outlets that are controlled by the government, like public TV, they're trying to paint
Yeah.
a certain picture that is pretty far off of reality, what the people, the everyday
Yeah.
people experience. So they're just continuing to ignore the problems.
Yeah.
So Germany is crumbling away slowly. Free speech, quality of life, everything. It's pretty much a downward spiral. And I don't
course
see
it
the
is, by
bottom in
design.
yet anytime soon. It has to get much worse before most people will realize that something has to change. And at that point, it's going to get very, very ugly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It's going to get worse, and it's going to happen. It's happening in Europe, all over every country. It's going to happen. It's happening in the UK. It has been since COVID. All by design. No matter who you vote for, if you vote, you're wasting your time. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that, because the same people count the votes. Do you really think they're going to put in who the people want? Not a chance in hell. Because if I ruled the world and you voted you want this person in and I didn't, I wouldn't go what you say. I would put the person who I want. You know what I mean? It's common sense. It's just, but there's a lack of it. That's the problem. And there's too many government constructs that's caused divide. You know, votes don't matter. Democracy isn't a thing. It's just an illusion. You know, and we're all going to be on state benefits, every single one of them. 5 grand, 10 grand a month, and 15-minute cities. Well, food's going to get worse. We're not going to live till we're 100 and stuff like that. Average age 70 to 80. We're going to live to a 40, 50. That's what they want. That's what they want. Because it's just pure evil. Not jobs that rule the world. Psychopaths. There's no other word saying it. Psychopaths. Anyways, if you like the video, put some comments below. What's your thoughts about the way the world's deteriorating? Some places a lot more than others, by design, of course. Do you vote? Do you think democracy is an illusion? Do you think money's backed by something when it's not? It's digits on the screen. Are we slaves to the system or not? You know, put your input down below there. By the way, I'm non-religious. I'm non-political. Because what's the point? The government constructs to cause more divide. So why should I play their game? Play my fucking game by ignoring them. Best way. Because that's all you can fucking do. And, you know, educate each other on it. Make people aware. More awareness, more people come together. So hit that button and subscribe if you want to learn about the true world we're fucking living. Because the harsh reality is fucking 95% plus don't fucking know that. And they're living in a fucking bubble where they think democracy is actually a thing and their votes actually matter because I want to try and make a difference. You're making no fucking difference. You're making it worse. It's as simple as that. University is a scam. The world's one big scam. The full fucking lot. Even YouTube is. And you notice how certain people get elevated and others don't. And you think, hey, they're boring, they're being elevated, but who's got good knowledge isn't elevated. World's a scam. Never forget it. the scamming. It's ruled by gangsters. That nothing more, nothing less. If you disagree with them, they take you out. And that's been well documented. You know what I mean? Loads of other people. You know. Anyways, catch you on the next one. Thumbs up. More videos coming soon. I like the first part. Go. This is entertainment purposes. This is just my opinion. What I think doesn't mean it's right or wrong. It's not that. And I'm not, you know, here to go against any government. I think like that. At all. Or rise up against them. No, not one little bit. But I'm here to educate people the best I can with my knowledge. It's as simple as that. You want to learn how to get a woman, not get abused by a woman, keep a woman, not be a wallet or a simp by a woman. You want to sleep with women instead of being a simp or a wallet. This is the channel for fucking you. Catch you on the next one.